They didn't.
I get the same one,
If
correct?
the scholarships are available, are far less.
Far less.
But college was far less.
Yes.
Angelina, do you know what the city hall Wi-Fi password is? If it's not too complicated?
I paid 2,000 a year for the.
You were, yeah, fancy.
Wow, I know.
I mean, the books were.
That was good, yeah.
Oh my God. I have to spend $100 for all 5 books or something, you know, that was like huge.
Yeah.
And I go, you can get a book now. Everything's on the right.
Speed, hit the ball
And
more times.
I love books. And I think I only got one. Because I love books.
Yeah.
And then I got older and thought, I don't need these books.
Do you still have any for college?
No, but my husband still does. He still has some mathematic books, which actually,
No.
I don't know.
mathematics is not charged.
That's true. There's very much the same stuff.
Are we about ready to go, Miss Angela, Commissioner Frank?
Yes.
Why do I tell you young people to get off your cell phone all the time?
Okay.
Do you know
Yeah. Steel trap.
Are we ready? Miss Angela,
that? Yes.
are we ready? I call the meeting to order of the Gearhart Planning Commission on Thursday, January 8th. John's here. Good evening, John.
Hello.
All of our commissioners are here. Angela is here for the staff. Is Garrett here? Okay.
Oh, he's there now.
Oh, Garrett is here now. And anyone else? Any other staff? No. Okay, so the first thing we have on the agenda today is elections. Once a year, we elect a president and vice president. Do I have any nominations?
I nominate Virginia Didion as president.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. You are such suckers. Okay, now we have vice president. Commissioner Frank has served as vice president very effectively this last year, but he may be tired.
I'm nominating Don Frank.
I second.
All right, so I'm sorry, I wasn't telling you those. Jennifer made the motion and Russ seconded for president, and who made the motion? Russ made the motion to nominate Don, and who seconded? Eric seconded. Thank you. I'm making a short meeting today, guys. Okay, any other nominations for vice president? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, yes. Those opposed? I'm just, no. All right,
To be the best, yeah.
moving forward, we have the consent agenda, the minutes for December 11th, and you were given one today with some corrections on it. We have the financial report, and there is not any correspondence. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
So move.
So moved. Russ has moved those in second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Emerson is second. Is there some discussion?
I see an edit.
Do you see it edit? Where do you see it edit, please?
The minutes on page 3. Under applicant's testimony, there's a second paragraph there. Jason Bangill, his address, general manager, it says here at Golf Links. I have a feeling that was meant to say at Gearhart Golf Links.
You're right.
Thank you. Any other corrections? Yes, Jeff.
I thought I saw this on what, Angelina that sent out, but the commissioner excuse should be us, not John.
I think, yeah.
And the first
No,
page,
you didn't.
this first page,
Commissioner excuse, it says John.
you fixed it on the one that got sent out, it looks like the first.
Oh, I
page.
must have printed the wrong one.
You printed the old one, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's okay. We will get new minutes at some point, right? It should say Russ. Any other corrections? Okay, moving forward. We've had a second, we've got some corrections. All those in favor of accepting the consent agenda with the corrections of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay, moving forward. Angelina, do you have anything to report?
I just wanna let you guys know that I'm in the process of working on adding in the Pick'em and FHO amendments, and I'm almost finished. I just gotta get some information from Garrett, and I'll have it ready for you next week,
Next month.
next week.
Oh, next week, but we won't need them.
You want, yeah, you can come up next one.
Okay, all right, excellent. And Garrett, you're there someplace, but we have no face. There you are. Do you have anything to report to us today?
Just that we've had a little bit of a lull in applications, at least as far as the ones that come to me are concerned, and applications that come to you. Right now we're working on putting together one or two sites that are going to be the subject of study in a DLCD funded housing planning project where we'll work with the other cities of Clatsop County staff, and a consultant, 3J Consulting, to develop some housing development concepts. And that'll be a process that takes place over the coming year. And right now we're getting started on identifying these sites, and we're looking forward to coming back to you with more information in the coming months. And I think I'll leave it at that for now, but just wanted to, let you know that if there's anything that you need from me, or, if there's any training or an area of Oregon land use planning that you want to brush up on and want resources on, don't hesitate to ask. We're oftentimes moving so quickly with all of the work that we have to do with applications and customer service. I'm reluctant to make sort of open-ended offers like that, but we are here for you. So thank you.
Garrett, last meeting, you were looking at having a presentation done either this month or next month. Is that still on the expected, or?
Yes, I'm sorry we weren't able to do it this month, but I am pretty certain that we will be able to do that in the February meeting. Yes.
Okay.
And even if our DLCD representative isn't available, I think that I can get started with a Goal 18 introduction that might make her, if she couldn't come until March, it would still make her presentation more informative the following month. So.
Any questions for Garrett? Okay, moving forward, are there any comments from the visitors not related to the agenda?
It's a pleasure to see you all.
Okay.
That not on the agenda, but it's, you're great entertainment. Thank you.
We try to be entertaining. We have no public hearings, we have no unfinished business, we have no new business, we have no information or discussion. We don't have a land use attorney here. Do we have any concerns of the commission?
I have one topic that I'm curious about. I can make this pretty short and sweet.
Why, you keep 10 minutes? No, go ahead.
I'm curious what the commission thinks about the concept or the notion of changing the time of this meeting and how the protocol to do that. I mean, what I'm proposing for discussion is moving the meeting to something like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that, I don't know why it's at 6 o'clock. I think that for me, that's a little bit of a challenge. I think maybe for some other people, it's a bit of a challenge, it's dinner time. Maybe that's why Bob is our sole community member here.
Yeah, Tom.
And Tom, thank you, Tom. Anyway, I think I've singularly talked to a couple people about it, but just the idea of why is it at 6 and why, if we wanted to change it, can we do that?
I don't know, I can only speak for myself, at 3 in the afternoon, I'm not working anyway. And I think that for people that work, and we certainly, we want to be available to as many people in the community as we can be. And we are hoping that those that can are working. So that's kind of, but would anyone else like to chime in?
Well, Angelina probably still working over in her office, 3 o'clock. We'd like to think.
I am, but I do work to.
So that would be excellent reason.
I'll just confer, it seems to me that public meetings, I believe, I don't know if there's anything really written about that, but my perception is they're done at times like this to make them available to the public, who otherwise might be working. I don't know if that's formal or not, that's just my impression.
Yes, I think the city council meeting, their meeting started at 6. Also,
They moved it to 6, yeah.
They had been set.
Yeah.
Now, another suggestion might be to move it to 5. I don't know if that's any better or worse.
3 was just an example, and there are people that work swing shifts and graveyard shifts. So there are people that do work during this hour. And if we did change it, would that actually give the opportunity for more people to be present and stuff? I mean, I just don't know. You know, this time of year when it's really stormy, it's kind of hard to leave the house, you know, and then in July, when it's really beautiful, it's kind of hard to leave the beach. So
3 o'clock is better.
I'm just saying if there is any consensus towards changing.
I think without, I think John must talk, I think without actually knowing that any change in time might have to come from the city council. I don't know for sure, but I would think that we would have to have at least their approval. I think there is,
Right.
I appreciate you bringing it up. You know, I think there'd be some steps to go through. I don't know. Because there's only the 2 meeting, I mean, the planning commission and the city council are the 2 commissions or committees, councils, whatever you want to call them, that are important to have public input. You know, other ones are supposed to, but they're very important. John, did you have something to say?
I just really wanted to reiterate what I've heard from a couple of people, which is that I think we want to make sure that the planning commission meetings are as open to not only the public that can attend as much as possible, but also that we encourage, when there are openings, as many applicants as possible. And I think that, you know, we don't want to discourage people who, you know, while there are some people on swing shifts and other shifts, the bulk of working people at work, you know, at the 3 o'clock hour. So I don't think I'd be too supportive of switching it to 3. If there was a possibility of switching it, I think 5 would be better for me personally, but it doesn't matter much.
Anyone else?
I just say I'd be happy to move it to 5 if we were inclined to make it somewhat earlier. You know, the city council did just change theirs from 7 to 6.
See, I think this topic would be a really good discussion, maybe more informally, but we can't do that. So.
Oh, we can. We can have work sessions. Quite legitimate. And in the past, you know, we've had work sessions with the city council where we discuss things and it's been a meeting, but doesn't mean we don't have to take input from the public, or we can just have a discussion amongst ourselves without the other parliamentary procedures and those kinds of things. So that's quite doable too.
Maybe this is just an idea to germinate on for a little bit, and if anybody has any strong thoughts one way or the other in the future, we can.
At our house, we eat at 5. So if we, have a meeting at 5, I either eat, something at 4:30 or I don't eat. And some of these meetings go on for 3 hours where I'm eating at 8 o'clock, which doesn't work.
Right.
So anyway, that's just personal.
Totally understood.
Anything else, Don? No. All right, thank you. Are there any other concerns from any of the other commissioners?
I have a question.
A question, go for it, Emerson.
I spoke with Chad the other day and asked him if he thought something like an annotated version of the Oregon statutes would be useful for some of the ordinances. And the reason I brought that up is we've had a couple meetings. One was with Ziggy's, the other one was with the Gold Farms expansion. What some of the questions or the criteria and the definitions in the ordinances actually meant. And as far as I know, everybody's getting older, and I don't know how much longer the original people that were on the city council to pass those without some kind of writing. We don't know what their actual intent was. I'll give you an example. Why our cafe is limited to 1,301 square feet. I suspect it has something to do with the floor space of Pacific Way Cafe, but I really don't know the answer. Would it make a difference if somebody was going to remodel it? Because John's not going to run it anymore, as far as I know. He's like to lease it. But if an internal remodeling could make it 1,400 square feet, would they be able to do that? I have some questions along those lines that come up. Variety stores, cafes, and groceries can all apparently serve food. Grocery stores can have a deli in them, but the delis apparently are limited to 700 square feet. Why? Variety stores can sell food, but the food can't exceed 50% of their business. Is that the number of customers, or is that based on business revenue? And exactly why is that there?
I know it's business revenue. That I do know. You missed the months that we spent rewriting the C1
Yeah,
zone.
I know And I would like to know if it comes up, if we get into an interpretation problem, what the original intent was. And arguably, maybe some of those restrictions could be considered arbitrary and capricious to somebody. And unless we know what the reason is, how do we know?
And what did Chad say?
He said he'd think about it.
Okay.
And it's something I'd be happy to work on. I guess if I was to do that, I would try to talk to members of the city council at the time that it was passed and say, what do you remember about why some of these things are in there?
And then what would be the net result? You would do that research, and then within the codes, there would be, this happened in 2012.
Right now, if you look at Oregon Revised Statutes in the annotated version, there's a little bit of legislative history about what the legislature was considering when they passed a given statute. And then there was an amendment, again, sort of how that came about.
Okay.
And it can be helpful if you're trying to research legislative history.
Yeah.
I was just trying to avoid having to reinvent the wheel on this question.
I wonder if Garrett has seen this before. Garrett?
Yeah, I've seen I've seen examples in cities that have an online zoning ordinance, and it incorporates some of those same kinds of references that you get when you're looking at state statute online. I haven't been a part of or spoken with anyone who's been through the process of putting something like this together when it's not already even in a paper format, let alone a digital format. And I imagine, I guess my intuition is that it would be a substantial amount of work, and that even the like, and that it would be incomplete to some extent. Like there's probably some history that is lost. And so I'm just speaking out loud. Like I also wonder about considering the value of what would it look like to say that from now on, anytime we amend the ordinance, we're adding to an annotation that over time will result in it being complete, but not necessarily trying to reconstruct the entire history. I'm absolutely open to the idea and here to serve. And I'll see if Chad wants to talk about it more. But it's certainly something that we're, as I'm using your zoning ordinance and any other city's ordinance, I regularly am wondering sometimes like how this language came to be. And typically I don't know the history of it, and I'm interpreting the words. So.
Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay. I can only speak from experience. We had a different situation certainly, but in C7 I served there. We actually went back to the original minutes from those meetings where they discussed what their intent was. It didn't help any ultimately, but we do have that option. If there's something, that's why all of our minutes are all recorded and copied and things. So, but I had to go back and look at the minutes and see if we could figure out what their intention was, the language, because there was that issue. So Garrett will work with Chad on and talk to him and see what he comes up with. That
Sounds fun.
that sounds good to me.
I mean, even if it's just if we start now, but
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay, anything else? It's 6:20. Good evening, people. We will see you in February.
Hi, guys.
Meetings adjourned.
Thanks for bringing that up, Anderson. That's a good idea. There's a lot of